We wish you a Merry Christmas. I had to just say it. The first thing that came to my head was Christmas, and Tab knows that's the last thing I said before we came live. But then you know what time it is. The ladies and I are here, bright, beautiful, Christmas ready to serve you all the hottest topics from the week. We hope you're ready because it's time for what?
Hot Topic Special!
So Merry Christmas.
Is he overworked that he's doing TAB today?
He's not overworked. You people did not see my WhatsApp status. I paid 55,000 naira this morning for fuel. And that's not full tank.
Fumbolo full tank.
That's not full tank.
Full tank.
So right now,
long.
Christmas, I don't even know if I'm going to survive till Christmas. So I can't be.
Full tank.
What was your
my full tank last week was about 60-something thousand. And so I have, you'll see, that's my tank this morning. 55,167 naira.
You took a picture of it?
I told the attendant he must take a picture of it.
Why did you didn't get from NNPC?
Did you see Q? Do you want me to be here on time this morning?
My Lord.
So, and that's with 3 bars left. Yeah. So by the time I do full tank, you people will pay for it. You'll carry me to this office.
Honestly.
No.
I would only drive my car now when it's absolutely necessary.
Yep.
Because if you are not making adequate plans, you are going to run bankrupt. It's not something that you can compromise. My friend she has a business in Ekpe. Now she says she has to make sure that all her meetings, everything, she fixes them in 2 days, what she would have done in 4 days or 5. Now she'll make sure that everything terminates in 2 days.
Yes.
And that's the maximum.
Someone asked
we can't do how long? What else do they want us to do? Is it that until people start dying on the road?
You have to be now intentional. COVID taught us that, to be more structured in our organizations and in our meetings. Someone reached out to me yesterday and said, we should see this evening. See? I said, my brother, I'm not sure I'm with you there. We have to plan. I said, is it that bad? I said, yes.
Is that bad?
Yes, it is.
Is that bad?
So in advance, so that people can navigate and plan how to live from place A to place B. People have to be intentional. This thing you said, you will only drive your car
when it's absolutely. And I think the government they are doing all these terrible things to the people. Should they not be making adequate plans for transportation? Let us see more BRT buses on the road. More CNG, so that you will not feel bad entering a bus.
You said they're doing terrible things to people. You think their priority will be making alternative plans. And I think that we're going back to the era. I don't know who said it yesterday, that we'll get to a point where people prefer to have Zoom meetings. People prefer to have work from home than coming. It feels like we're in a COVID era.
As companies and even as a society, we don't have the full infrastructure for work from home.
Yes.
Oh my God.
When data
can I tell you how much my compound electricity bill is? My husband has been on a tear. We got a bill of 1 million this month, 8 flats, and it was my daughter that told me because he already ranted to her, the nanny, and he's very well.
Of course.
1 million naira.
I don't understand.
I don't understand. And then I've just paid 55.
No,
and when I use
are you producing? Is it a manufacturing company?
I don't know.
Is it a manufacturing company? Wow. We have off 2 fridges in my house. Only 1 freezer is working.
So these are the adjustments we're talking about that people are having to make. And I barely drive basically to the office. So most times the full tank will take me a week and a half, a few days. So every 2 weeks, you want me to be paying 50 something upwards of 170,000.
In fact, when your fuel tank is now on half, you begin to panic because that's where your budget takes you to.
Yes.
If your fuel tank comes lower than half to a quarter, or even kissing the E, you know that you're looking at 100,000.
Yes. These days, once it gets to half, I'm trying to buy because I can't predict what will happen in Nigeria. But see, we talked about families having to choose which child goes to school.
Yes.
If any child at this point in time. We spoke about 101. People right now are doing 001. I told you about the lady who said she eats every other day because of her children. And I simply do not understand. We're in a country where this is a natural resource that comes from. Kilefe, what do you want? What do you like? Yesterday, I'm so sorry. I'm vibrating now.
I am unhappy. Yesterday,
I'm vibrating.
I'm trying to cook concoction rice. Do you know that I bought 1 smoked Titus for 2,500? And I wanted the rice to really be fishy so that it would be nice. So that multiplied by 5. Because all of them were scrawny like this. And you wanted it to buffer your soul. That means at home now, I'm telling my children that, oh yeah, you know that thing that they used to serve rice in party? That one that you pack rice inside that used to do one scoop.
Yes.
I think it's 2 scoops everybody's going to be eating.
Yes.
Because you cannot continue like this. How many families can afford more than... One family told me that, a friend of mine told me that in their house, she and her husband will share 1 egg. And their 3 children will share 1 egg. So that they can spread the 6,200 naira crate.
Yes, 60.
Now, Idris and Yaput, they are selling 1 egg, 300, some 250.
And you ask them, what is their gain in there?
I don't know.
People, their gains are not, they're very tiny.
And yet you will hear some of them telling us that, oh, now that the president is on vacation, that by the time he returns, he will have the brainwave on how to move us forward. No. Are you kidding me?
Saying that, yes.
It's so disheartening and painful.
See, right now, I'm even annoyed at this bar. And it's even, let me even tell you, I'm the one who approved the bar. But I realized NNPC is 998.
My own is I bought 1,050
naira.
Yes.
So it is 1,050 naira. How many of us have the time to queue at NNPC? We are trying to make the ends meet. Let me tell you, the ends are this far apart right now.
And please,
the
guys,
ends,
be wary.
I want you to see me, please. Nigerians, the ends are this far apart. The ends are this far apart.
Yes.
Where is the middle ground? I'm the middle class. I don't feel middle class anymore. My socioeconomic standing has changed. I'm so sorry, Blessings. And if it's this how I'm feeling, I can imagine people lower on the economic scale right now.
How they have Tolu.
What do you want from Nigerians? And I looked at that guy, he was pumping the guy, and I was thinking to myself this morning, I can say I can afford it. Yeah. But what about other people?
Is it that until Nigerians start to drink water from gutters?
It's until we use blood to run our vehicles.
We're paying for fuel, we're paying for light, we're paying our children's school fees.
Ladies,
do you know how many parents have not paid?
I can't do this.
You know, in the midst of fuel, and since we're talking about the fuel issue, I was saying that there's even bad fuel out there. So if you're going to queue for fuel, there is bad fuel. Some vehicles smoke something, you know, the plugs begin to get affected.
So the thing is, what we're not even seeing is,
careful.
Most times when we hear about this fuel, Cholo has every right to be upset.
Yeah. Of course she does.
It's not even about the fuel. You guys are not understanding that there are people, the more the fuel prices are going up, people are panicking. Already. And it's not even about having cars. It's about how much do you now buy rice in the market. Can they still afford eggs? Can they still afford...
I say every time I go to the markets, I have anxiety issues every time I say I'm going to the market, because you make a list, my dear sisters. And when you go to the market,
you have cannot.
You are weak.
Honestly, it's not even something we need to. It's something we should cry about. I have a large family.
I don't think that there is still a conversation about middle class anymore. I'm not going to lie, and I'm going to be very honest.
It's rich and poor now.
Tolu, it's okay. It's all right. Listen, we understand where Tolu is coming from, because everybody that knows Tab knows that Tab is the coolest, is the calmest of the pack. So no, today I believe you.
What we're talking about.
Tab is always the one who puts everything together. But you see, amidst all this, even the strongest person,
the rich are crying.
The strongest.
The rich are not crying. The rich are in bed with the political elite. Lola, don't tell me the rich are crying.
It's a phrase. When they say the rich are crying, that means we are talking about middle class.
There's no middle class.
There's no middle class anymore. The rich are not crying. If they were crying, they would go to their friends in the political elite and they would tell them, you are setting this country on fire.
Even they are feeling it, is what I'm telling you. I know many businesses that are running on debts. They are collecting money from this bank to pay this one.
That's why they are in bed with the powers.
Since time immemorial.
I know how many times I've had to adjust my budget. And I was talking to a friend that I was adjusting my budget, and I said, you still have budget. That's when salary comes, the first thing you can buy, just buy and rest.
Do you know that?
Don't tell me to move.
I'm praying that by the end of this month, I have to make sure I buy another bag of rice. Because the last one that I bought about 95,000. I know when I get there now, it's going to be like 100 and something. Yeah, who knows what it's going to be by Christmas?
Aside the rice, the tomatoes to cook it, the gas, the oil.
So I think, guys, next week, our Jasiri on the street has to be in the market.
No,
because this is October. We're heading towards Christmas.
It will have to be in the market.
You know that there are oftentimes English fails me, and that's why I'm reverting to Yoruba, because me understand. Because English is not enough to express the frustration and the anger I'm feeling. You are leaders in a country that is being referred to often as the poverty capital of the world. You're sitting down with fuel, something that we own, that is our own, is hitting 1,000. How many people can afford it?
We are even suffering with hunger. Imagine if we had natural disasters.
I spoke to family in Cameroon, and they said, if you're complaining about fuel, we that get fuel from you, how do you think we're doing it? And you know, it's just, listen, we don't know the gravity and the ripple effect of what's going on. Former aviation minister, I think, Honorable Chibike Rotimi Amechi, in an interview he gave, he said, oh, Nigerians, he didn't expect that Nigerians would take this sitting down. He expected that Nigerians should be on the, and he got a lot of flack for that. And Nigerians should find a way to protest and find a way to, because the truth is, in the midst of all of this, Nigerians are still finding a way to laugh.
Excuse me.
Are they mocking us?
Yeah. I won't finish the sentence, but I'll start it. Kole what? Emma Soma. Don't. She understands. Kole kini. That comment that Rotimi Amechi's made, Kole what? You're outside. You know what I mean.
Okay.
Please, let's move on.
Honestly, it's not fun.
Because the truth is, in the whole quagmire, Nigerians are still finding a way to laugh. How we do it, frankly, I have no idea. I know that being able to make light of every situation is actually what got us here. But ladies, even if we could use a little laughter right now, I don't know if we can, but...
sorry, before you go, I think that, so we've said it over and over again, but I think I'm coming to realize that Nigerians are not finding a way to laugh or adapt. People are dying in silence. I think that's the situation. When we were talking about depression yesterday, it dawned on me that a lot of people are too scared to come out and say, this thing is affecting me mentally. Because other people will say, oh, are you the only one? I'm so scared of what the statistics of suicide would be by the end of this year, by the end of next year. Because we're looking at it as people are coming and they're coping online. I don't think we're coping. I think people are going through it. And it's going to start affecting people's minds. And people are going to start taking drastic actions. That's when we realized that they were not laughing after all. They were only just hiding. They were masking their
feelings. Do you know how many companies I know that is retrenching and sacking people? Because they are trying to cut back. I can tell you grade A offices, at least I entered 3 in Victoria Island. I'm not lying to you. They have big expanses of office. Do you know now they stop putting off their AC? In an office that had like maybe 12 ACs, they'll put on only 2. And they've added fans to their offices because they are trying to cut costs. How long are we going to be on this table? I know it's funny for many people. Do you know me as a parent? Look at the list of parents in my children's school. Some have not even been able to pay 40% of their children's school fees.
Yeah, but you know, that the truth is, at the end of it all, what do we do? The power lies within us. The power lies. We have to find a way to confront these issues. We can complain about them all we want, but if we don't find a way to come to the center and find the core of what this all means and find a way to actually navigate through them, not by only words, but actions as well, until we begin to think about that and then recalibrate our minds as well as to how to confront these issues. Until we begin to do that, then I'm sorry, we are not going to go anywhere. Well, let's take a look at these tweets that I found. I'm struggling to catch my breath. I needed the ladies to see it as well. I'm not going to see them by myself. Let's take a look. All right. God knew what he was doing when he didn't add natural disasters.
He took it.
Listen.
He took it right out of my...
No, the ones we have is enough. Imagine
we're having hurricane in Nigeria.
Bro, imagine having to deal with Tinubu and fuel price hike, and suddenly Hurricane Chinasa carries your compound to the next local government. My brother, Hurricane.
We're already
preparing for the disaster, would be busy discussing why name it Chinasa when we can name it Audu, since the wave is moving northward. And then one or two more will say it should have been named Ogunlere since the wave originated from Lagos shores.
The nonsense would have been discussing at that time. All of you are even laughing. A lot of people will be dying on the streets.
I generally think if we had those disasters, there's a big chance would be more developed because we'd have no choice. We naturally have things easy, and it allows us to get away with not being innovative in certain scenarios. now.
Are you telling me that we'll get innovative?
Make you wake up once you say hurricane fiong. Don't move car where you just sit and I didn't see that coming.
Please, Nigerians should not just try me.
I didn't see that coming. Why hurricane fiong of all names? That's man for
150K.
My God, 50K for 100.
There's one I saw. The person said, imagine making a bar at 1 a.m. in the morning and the hurricane just removes your roof.
That's what I was going to say. I'm coming down. I was going to say, we're talking about fuel. It will remove Lolo's bag of rice. It will remove my eggs and my yam from Ogumasho. I don't, so that thread gave me a little bit of laughter yesterday. And people were saying, why Chinasa? We apologize to all the Chinasas around Nigeria.
I even saw one, so
we're not responsible.
Somebody was saying that, you know, most Chinasas, they look like they're fierce and strong. So that's why I used to be the
So we talk about natural disasters. The flooding that's happened in Borno, we see how they're handling. Borno State has now declared a cholera emergency and outbreak. And if we just think about that, just think. See, guys, I've been through 3 tornadoes in my lifetime. Wow. You don't ever want to experience even just the winds coming from a tornado.
No, there were winds some days ago. That wind some days ago.
It was so scary.
I saw the footages from Florida.
It looked like tornado winds.
And I was like, God, imagine somebody that just jackpot. And in Florida you went and you have just stayed 1 month.
Village people follow you.
It could be like say village people, they follow you. If this kind of thing, look at what's happening in Borno. We can barely cope. They are throwing bread. Imagine it's happening in 12 states in the Federation.
And somebody was saying that we will be innovative. I'm sorry, I don't agree with that, because even the little ones,
they'll just fly their family abroad and they will leave the place of government.
Rights to them. Imagine that situation spread across different states. I remember when Kogi State was flooded. For like weeks, people could not move. My mother was stuck in her house. And telling me we'll be innovative.
Let's move on, no.
Is it not the government? Let's not go there. They're saying that you should join the military. Anyways, we don't have the one that is doing us.
So we've got more to unpack, and
it should be events Friday.
And then there was a story that we were supposed to take yesterday, the whole drama, and we couldn't take it. So I think that we can do that now. Once again, we'll be opening our phone lines to you all. We promised to give you all the drama between Burna Boy and Speed Darlington, and we're keeping our word this morning. But that comes right after
the break. They've told us not to go on break.
Okay.
So you want me to enter gear 2
Do you understand?
And
let's take this first. Move on to that next, the Ashwebi lady.
She doesn't want Tolu to go to gear 2. That's why she's telling
Let us move on to Ashwebi, the Ashwebi lady.
Please,
what has she done?
Before the Ashwebi lady, our Senate President has a few words for us. Catherine, go ahead.
That one is another annoying thing.
Catherine, please go ahead.
My God. All right, so our phone lines are open. I don't know if you're feeling the way we're feeling, but phone lines are open. Numbers on your screens. Please call in and be part of our conversation. Also, we're live on all our social media platforms. We're at News Central TV. As our government has refused to give us rest, we too will refuse to give them peace. We're tilting back attention to the federal government. Our Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, is up next. So, what did he do? Well, our beloved senator is appealing to all Nigerians this time around to love Nigeria more than we love money. Wow. Like my daughter would say, wow, mommy, wow. Speaking on the floor of the Senate on Tuesday while commenting on a motion seeking to address mass immigration in Nigeria, Akpabio beckoned on Nigerians to place their love for the country above financial gain, saying that the country will be better if citizens who are skilled in various fields stayed back in the country. He says, and I quote, "The country is losing its expertise. If they acquired that expertise and returned to Nigeria, it would have been better. I also think the conditions of service are quite responsible. I believe people should place love for their country above financial gains. That is why many of us choose to remain here."
Choose to remain where?
My brother, clap for yourself.
Wait,
blessings.
Justice, baby. Now, Akpabio said that the massive migration of Nigerians has adversely impacted the country's health sector, as well as the educational sector. And according to him, in the educational sector, the disadvantages are too numerous because some of the departments do not have even up to 50% staff strength. So What then are you teaching our children? That's what he said. It's like a computer, garbage in, garbage out. The Senate President said the National Assembly would continue to do its best to better the lives of teachers so that they could stay back and impact future generations. I can see the steam coming out of some people. So I'll start with...
Don't come this way.
Okay.
Don't come this way. No, do not come this way.
So they know how to take care of teachers.
Oh my God, not
and
today.
we have an impending ASU strike. So they know how to take care of the educational sector. So they acknowledge that there is problem there. You know, they can say the things they say. When I look at them sometimes, I'm looking intently that, are these really humans? Yeah. Maybe truly that evil thing they said, that they've cloned them all. And they've taken all our leaders and hidden them somewhere. And these people are clones. That means they are not functioning as humans. Because you cannot tell me that you will put financial gains aside and put love of country. What has country done for you?
It's the sea finish.
What has Nigeria done for you?
We don't
that you be telling me that you give your life for the country.
No,
how many people can?
We don't understand.
So when your family is hungry, you be telling us that that's why you choose to stay in the country? Why don't you choose to stay in the country as civilians, not as people in politics?
Nobody should ever make that statement again.
Stay as
Nobody
civilians.
in government should ever make that statement again.
Let our Senate President become just an Igbo man that does business. In present-day Nigeria, he has no political affiliations, he has no political connections. Go and see how many people's businesses are folding up. Because dollar is so expensive.
So let me, I'm trying to keep calm. There are 2 points I want to make.
Unfortunate.
His comments are a complete disrespect, denial, and dismissal of the reality of millions of Nigerians. He sits in a seat of power and privilege and preaches to Nigerians about choosing love of country over Jagba. People have lost their lives in hospitals that are underfunded and understaffed. Your National Assembly has the right and the power to ensure that there's funding for the education sector, for the health sector. You're telling us to choose country over money, over our lives. I also want to point out that the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, gives us greatest hits because this is a man who unfortunately I do not think understands the seat he currently occupies. Let me give you some references. At Herbert Wigwe's funeral, he responded to Senator Sim Fubara, who appealed to the political class to reflect on the purpose of their struggle. And he said, I will answer you, answering the governor. We are not talking politics. In 2006, I wanted to become the deputy governor, and the then deputy governor invited me and said, this office has no money. There's nothing in it. I don't know why you still insist on removing me from here and taking over. So a woman who went with me said, Your Excellency, don't wait for impeachment, just resign, since there is nothing in it. And I told him, Your Excellency, don't punch the woman. She's telling the truth. There is nothing in it. That's why I want to say to you, because you're too big for it. Your Excellency, Governor Fubara, if there's nothing in the struggle, don't struggle. At somebody's funeral, at the funeral of a man who was an inspiration,
he did not know
who gave to the country. Please, we have a phone call. I still have some more greatest hits for us from Akpabio. Obina from Lagos, please join the conversation.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
All right, so ladies, a few things. I appreciate the fact that you're taking our time to talk about proper social issues, things happening, affecting everyone in society today, not just banal, trivial things. And I honestly, I understand what that lady went through or what she's going through now, the one who had to walk off the set. It is frustrating. Let's not lie to ourselves. It's frustrating. A country that has crude oil should never suffer. That's one basic fact of this earth that people don't understand. If you have crude oil, other nations will be jealous of you. Your people should never suffer. So it's sad because, quite frankly, this fuel price increase would have translated already to the markets, public transportation, food, gari, utilities, everything. And then when our Senate President comes by, no offense, but I think, excuse my language, I think he's just taking a piss when he comes out and says things like this. Because it's annoying. You know what is going on in the country. You know that you are part of the 1%, you know that I won't say what you earn, what you take, because quite frankly, I don't think they deserve what they take home on a monthly basis. But you know that what you take home every month as Senate President is probably more than what most bank MDs take home every month. Their children are abroad in schools, all of them. Their children are abroad. Their families aren't here. And then you come and you tell us, oh, no, don't leave the country. Stay. Be like me. Really? So it's unfortunate and it's painful. And the honest truth is, one day, it's like a balloon that you fill up with water. Yes, it will keep taking on water. And then one day, it will pop. It will explode. That's the honest truth. There's a limit to which you can push people, especially Nigerians. There's a limit to which you can push people to the wall. And unfortunately, we got here because of, with the greatest respect, ethnic, tribal sentiments.
Obinna, we have to let you go because of a break coming up, but we'll continue this because I still want to give you greatest hits. And then I went and I saw an article that This Day wrote about the Senate President, and I need to quote them for all of us to hear. We'll take a quick time out. When we come back, it's more conversation. I need to laugh because I don't know. I have goosebumps because of how angry and frustrated I am. We're talking about the Senate President, Godswill Akpabio, and his comments urging Nigerians not to japa, to choose the country over money. And I was saying that this Senate President has given us greatest hits. So we talked about the comments he made at Herbert Wigwe's funeral. He also said, apparently when he did not know that he was being recorded live during a Senate session, in order to enable us to enjoy our holidays, a token has been sent to your various accounts by the clerk of the National Assembly. When he was told by colleagues that he was still live, he now took it back and said, I withdraw the statements. In order to allow you to enjoy your holiday, the Senate President has sent prayers to your mailboxes to assist you to have a safe journey and return. He has also insulted Nigerians. You know, the president, when he was a candidate, was talking about some of the reforms the CBN was doing and said, let the poor breathe. Our Senate President said, the prayer is that, let the poor breathe. And Senator Mustafa has seconded that the poor should breathe. Those who are in support of the additional prayer that the poor should be allowed to breathe say ayes, and those who are against it say nay. In response, senators chorused aye, to which Akpabio reported the ayes have it. The poor must be allowed to breathe. He has gone at Senator Natasha Akpoti-Oduaghan and said that she was speaking like she was at a nightclub. There's even one now between him and Senator Adams Oshiomhole. You occupy the Senate presidency seat of the country. You're the third citizen as the Federal Republic. Should anything happen to the president and the vice president, you are up next. And this is the person we have in line.
You know that Akpabio is not the only one who is interested.
Oh, please, wait. I promised you guys what This Day said about the Senate President, and I think it's important to have newspapers who are willing to take the fight to power. So This Day said, historically, Akpabio has made several contentious remarks that have drawn criticism. As far back as 2013, he embarrassed party members by offering 1 million naira to each hungry PDP chairman, a gesture that was widely seen as insensitive. In the same month, he confessed to election rigging on live TV, which greatly tarnished his reputation at that time as it reinforced his regard for ethical standards, our Senate President. Akpabio's tenure as Niger Delta Affairs Minister also featured ungraceful comments, such as his accusation that lawmakers were corruptly benefiting from NDDC contracts. Let me move forward. Akpabio's latest remarks, alongside his past comments, illustrates a consistent failure to exhibit the presidential grace and sensitivity expected of his position. His history of unguarded statements and dismissive attitudes towards serious issues is one reason critics label him as disrespectful and unserious, despite the fact that he ranks third in Nigeria as the Senate President. Thank you, This Day.
Honestly, are you expecting them to have respect for us when our Senate President does not even know what it means to have guarded words? It's rife in politics. That's why I keep saying that they don't have any regard. I don't even think they use the team that they pay around them to do the work they cannot do for themselves. It's just annoying. But he's not, the country is like, we're acting drama on a daily basis now. Because Akpabio is not the only one who has interesting words to say. Our very dear First Lady, Her Excellency Oluremi Tinubu, she wants us to know, everybody. He says, husband is not the cause of the hardship. Oh, my husband is not among of it. What you are going through, whatever is making all of us to jackpot. She was talking at the palace of the Oni of Ife, Obadeye Ogunwusi, on Thursday. She said that her husband, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's administration, is still very young, and he is only trying to fix the country and secure its future. This he said, this is part of the one I want to quote. He said, we know that subsidy has been removed, but with God on our side in the next 2 years, Nigeria will be greater than this. Those who attempted removing subsidy before could not see it through. But with your prayers, in the next 2 years, we will build a nation for the future. We give glory to God for our status, myself and my husband. We are not greedy, but we thank God that for what God has done for us. It is not common for rich people to get to this seat, but I am grateful to God. We cannot disappoint Nigerians, and with the help of God, we are getting to the promised land in no distant time.
Okay.
She finished her speech by disclosing that she was an alumni of Obafemi Awolowo University, and she was donating 1 billion naira to the university for its development and advancement.
So I'm going. This is where I'm going. Huh?
The same thing they have been lying. They put everything. Did you see how many God?
No, you don't understand that when I say I'm prepared, I'm prepared. This is.
Do you see how many God?
This is where me.
Do you see how they deceive us? Make us like religious non-entities.
Lolo, you didn't just say that. This is where
see how many God is in that statement.
That is
if thunder should come, every time you mention the name of God, let thunder just fire somebody.
I kept saying so. She didn't.
You will see ashes all over Nigerian table.
So
everywhere.
I'm genuinely worried about
I'm just tired.
This generation.
God.
Because there are so many things for my generation that we don't understand, right? There are a lot of things happening, and I'm wondering if this is even real, if any of this is real. And I see them doing the whole drama, and I'm trying to imagine what people are going through, what the ordinary man is thinking, watching TV. I'm hearing you say it's not common for the rich to get to power, but we thank God.
God.
I cannot for the love of me.
How many God is in that statement alone? Because Nigerians are under a religious delusion. They know that we are so gullible. Anything you serve to Nigerians on the platter of God, even the things that God has given us wisdom to do, we still rely on God to feed us. You say, oh God, what do we pray to God for? We have natural resources. There is oil, there is bitumen, there is gold, there is mineral resources in the country. And not any of these are being utilized. We still want God to come down and refine it. We are still a country that produces oil, still exports the oil out to be imported back in. Now we have a resident refinery. And you're expecting him to do charity. Is he stupid? Is he not in business for money? So is he not going to play the same game they play with people outside? He wants to do business for money. He has investors.
Do we have a call?
So what are we saying?
Lydia, no,
I've transferred it.
Good morning, Lydia.
It is because our men have failed us. It is time for Nigerian women to rise up. I love what people are doing. But another thing I have to say is that our religious leaders have lost it. Are you still with me?
Go ahead. Can you please turn your TV down? Please.
Okay. I said that.
Okay, Lydia, call us back. Let's drop this call for you. Turn your TV down and call us back. We want to hear from you. Guys, you see I'm laughing. It is not a laughter if I find this comical. It is a laughter of I want people you fair yawa.
Because our religious leaders, if they want to talk about tithe and offering, it's on the tables of every church. But now that the people are wallowing in poverty, hunger and starvation, we are not out there fighting them, and yet they will say our first lady used God. How many times?
6.
And when every time you hear that God, they just say,
please, can I say something?
God.
I'm coming down. Unfortunately, I apologize. It's like I've transferred this thing to Lolo today.
Oh, God.
During the Buhari administration, we thought things were bad. And we thought it couldn't get worse. And it has gotten worse. And if you listen to a lot of financial analysts, it's likely going to get worse before it even starts to turn around and get any better. And what I want to say is, you put it as a political ambition to become president of a country. You may not know everything about the inner workings and what you're going to meet, but a year plus down the line, you're now president. And the same exact thing that your predecessor and predecessors before that were doing, pointing the finger back to the person before you. You've now made it almost like a policy. It's a tune we hear from so many ministers. We heard it from the Foreign Affairs Minister, Women Affairs Minister Kennedy. She said it recently as well. Yes. When she was donating some, I'm coming, Jude, just hold on. When she was donating about a couple thousand bags of rice. But I say this to say this. At the end of the day, you wanted to be president. You took on this responsibility. We didn't ask you to take on this responsibility. Do the job that you put yourself forward to do. If this was management, you would not have this job.
Of course, you would
have been fired as a leader of a company, saying that it was the person before me that did so and so, and a year later, I've not been able to do anything to make change. We have Jude on the line. Hello, Jude. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
Please go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
I want to commend the program. I want to commend the program. You see, it's unfortunate in this country, highly unfortunate in this country, that this set of leaders are not even bothered with what is happening in the country. They are not feeling the pain. Where I am now in Delta State, I'm buying fuel for 1,400 naira, 1,500 naira.
Can you imagine?
The children have to go to school. How are we going to survive in this country?
Jude, if you ask us, we don't have an answer for you.
I'm surprised, I'm so disappointed that some persons will come and begin to say Nigeria should dare. Dare what? Dare when they are using the federal resources to buy vehicles, to buy everything. It's unfortunate. We can't continue to bear. They should take note. They should take note. We are getting to the boiling point. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Please, I want to beg Catherine. Catherine, you people begged me to come back. Catherine, please come back.
We cannot continue to be like this.
I want to say something, but I don't want to get overly emotional.
Everybody is emotional. We're all crying.
So
we have children.
I've been close to tears this whole show.
As at last week, I think last week Saturday, I got a call from a woman, which is remotely close to me, and she was asking me that she knows that I work at a TV station. She's scared to watch the news. And all she's asking is, what is happening? Why are they suffering this much? Like, I'm literally in panic mode every time because I'm so scared about what is going to happen. Yeah. So you don't know what next week is going to look like. So you're scared to overspend. You don't want to eat too much so that you can save some money in case, like we're literally saving for the rainy days. I can't.
It's a thunderstorm.
The number of people who have messaged me asking me for. Before now, I used to laugh at people that say I would do any job. But now it's not funny anymore. People just want to do anything. They're ready to learn on the job. Do you know how scary that is?
Let me shock you. I'll tell some people they will not believe. I said, do you know how many days I've had to take public transportation because I enjoy it? Because if I keep calculating how much I would use to enter taxis and this and that. Yesterday I was in the bus and I saw 3 women sitting on the table. I swear to the 2 of you, 3 of those ladies had 3 bags each. Inside everybody's bag, one had juice, one had granite, one had something. Because everybody is doing more than one thing to be able to survive and make ends meet.
Let's take the call. Hello, good morning. Emmanuel, I believe.
Emmanuel.
Okay, Emmanuel, talk to us.
Good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead, Emmanuel.
I just want to appeal to you ladies to take things easy. Don't go and get high BP because of Nigeria issue. Please, Nigeria has been in existence before we came, and Nigeria will still be in existence after we leave. So let's just try to calm things down. Please, the ladies working out of the set and all that, please, let's just try and take things easy. Okay? Because when we carry everything on our head, the way things are going now, I don't think, in short, the way the country is going, I don't think if we continue boiling this way, we can even leave to provide solution for for the problems in the country. Then coming to the Akpabio's issue, Akpabio failed to draw the line between love of country and trying to survive. Understand what I'm saying? Because what you ladies are boiling now. You are boiling because you want the country to work.
Yes.
That's the reason why you are boiling. And that's the reason why the thing is hurting you. Because you want the country to work. Not that you don't love the country. Because it's because you love the country, that is why you are trying, you are acting the way you're acting now. But Akpabio failed to draw the line between love of country and trying to survive. Because why the complaint in the country now is people trying to survive. Things are getting harder.
That's all.
So let's just try and take things easy. Because, and there's also coming to our first lady. So, you know, they are up there, and we are down here. So they don't know what we are passing through. And what Akpabio said, they don't love country. And I know how many of my friends that are abroad, that each time we are chatting, they will keep telling they are missing home. The freedom they enjoy back home, they don't see the freedom over there. So the love of country is there. And our first lady, please, each time she wants to make a remark, she knows that people are angry. People are angry. So she knows she should speak as someone that is hiding, that is trying to make it right. So that's my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know, I see all these miserly, all these donations they make individually. And yet there's a lacuna everywhere we look. When you give the money to the school, they want off donations. That we know that by the time he hits the school account, he's going, by the time the school is... what the school, you know, when they say something hits, and you only feel like a drop of sand, boom. That is how some of these monies. All the lecturers that are hungry before. So when they drop the 1 million, you think it's going to infrastructural development?
Excuse me. 1 billion.
I said the 1 billion.
I want you to be right.
The 1 billion they drop, you think that it's going straight into infrastructural development of any school? When there are hungry lecturers that have not been paid?
But see, 1 billion, where did you uproot it from, number one?
Exactly.
You are giving it to OAU. ASU has been on the case of the government for decades. 2009 agreement has not been implemented. Madam, you just off 1 billion from somewhere and say you are giving to OAU.
Maybe it's
because it is your alma mater.
Maybe they were sold.
Remember she was
for October 1st was lucrative.
Remember she was a senator for how many years?
So she has money.
We have another phone call. Michael from Lagos, please join the conversation.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, Michael.
It's so bad to what we see in this country and the way people take it from different angles. Like the last caller said, some people tend to take it sentimentally and because they are maybe affiliated to a party or to a tribe, and they tend to take it the way they want to take it to satisfy their own conscience, which is the problem we are having in this country. We don't have a centralized interest. We don't have the love that is genuine for the country. And I just want to, it's so sad because these are issues that our parents discussed and today they are no more. We are here discussing the same issues. I don't know, I just pray our children wouldn't come and continue from where we stopped. That's just the problem, because we grew up seeing all this mess in the country, and today we are here and we are still, it's even getting worse. I've lived outside the country. I know how things are done out there. It's completely different from what we see in Nigeria.
Absolutely.
Completely different. Just look at the case of EFCC and Kogi State Governor and all those dramas happening with the anti-graft agencies, the judiciary and all that. We politicize every segment. We just, I don't know what to say. Like, I don't know. Everyone in government has interest in either in the oil sector or in one particular. So they all do their things to benefit their selfish interest. If you tell somebody to deregulate or to pay subsidy, he looks at, okay, where is my own coming from? Well, how will it be of benefit to me? Before any policy or rules are done in this country, they look at the end product. How will it come as interest or benefit to me before they pass it. I have a problem. I just pray that, I don't know, God will help us. God will help us.
You know, as he mentioned Yahaya Bello, I think it was the Cable that did a graphic about 6+ houses. I can't remember. I know it's more than 6 that he bought. This is one governor in one state. Kogi, and Kogi is one of the smallest states in Nigeria. Receives some of the, receives adequate enough. When you hear, like, when we do elections, and I hear the number of people in certain states in this country, I think to myself, these states have no reason looking like they look. And I bring that up to say, while we may talk about the Senate president, his role, his comments, and talk about the First Lady, and focus a lot on the president, guys, we cannot forget what our governors are doing. This is an issue where everybody needs to share the blame. The president, the governors, the National Assembly, they must share the blame for the state. I don't want to cry, I've already cried. They must share the blame for this, because Nigerians do not deserve this. 200+ million people do not deserve the current state of this country.
But you see, then again, we are a very emotional people, first of all. We have to, I think it's something, an intrinsic.
Do you have APC stamped on your forehead that will take you to the fuel station and they'll sell 500 naira for you? Do you take APC to the market?
Hold on. We have been accepting these things for years. When Annie was here, Annie would sit here and say the same thing. We have allowed, I don't want to use the 4-letter word, but people who know me what I want to say. We have been allowing that to go on for years and years, and it goes round in a circle. There are people who are benefiting from government at the federal level, state level, local government level. People are talking from both sides of their mouths until we learn how to say no. Even if we are dying where we are dying, we have to decide to take the bull by the horns. Sinon, rien ne va jamais changer.
Is that what I asked?
Let's take Kelly, sorry, because time is gone. Kelly is calling us. Kelly, talk to us. We're wrapping things up. You're our last caller today. Kelly, please turn off your TV.
Okay, good morning, sisters.
Good morning.
Okay. My own is that the federal government, Tinubu's administration started. 2 key things were done at once. It devalued the naira and the subsidy is gone. Was our first shocker. That was last year. So my own is that this one they are now even starting with this gas. Opening a site that, okay, well, cars can convert to gas and all that. Our governments are just doing wicked. That's what I see. I'm sure there is something probably that the Western world has promised them on this gas again that they really invested on. I just think that this fuel of a thing, they just want to frustrate Nigerians. That when the fuel just keeps getting up, then they will look at the side they are looking at. This is the gas that they are now shouting. So how is implementation going to work? Cars that have been used to fuel and all that, then convert. How many trials, how many experiments have they done that they just want to frustrate? I just think it's a frustration because it's what they can do. Baba is in Abuja, he kept quiet all this while we are suffering, and he's not even saying anything. The Minister of Power, Minister of Petroleum, he's not saying anything on the petroleum. So I just do wicked. But I know, he said there's nothing we can do without God, because I know that even in this attitude, God is still working. No, God that is sustaining us. If at all we are biased or in our thinking, I still believe that there is God, and God will see us definitely.
Thank you, Kelly.
You see,
because of time, I apologize. Ladies, 30 seconds, we need to go.
No, I'm done.
The way the God factor that we all propagate everywhere is one of the things that is killing us in this nation.
I don't believe so, because allow people to hold on to
hope
whatever
is not a strategy. The prayer says work.
So how do we fight this? So what do we do?
We work.
Catherine is talking. We've been talking about standing up and fighting. Who are we fighting? We've been saying this for the longest time, and I've been asking, who are we fighting? Who is fighting what? The middle class are waiting for the poor people to fight. The poor people are collecting bag of rice. And even when you decide to fight, they're shutting you down. So who is fighting what?
Okay, so we all die here. We all die here.
God will do the things. Is God going to take a spoon and put food in your mouth when he has put food on your table? Is that what we're saying?
If we shut down Jasiri for a week and go to the government, there's nothing that will still happen. If we go to Abuja and we say, okay, we're not doing Jasiri, all the women come out. You were talking about being with your bride. There's nothing that would happen.
No, maybe they need the mother of all protests. You know, when everybody downs their tools across the country. I don't mean one person.
10 seconds, let's go.
I get where you're coming from, Blessings. But at the same time, we need to go back to the drawing board and change strategy. That is the only way. We're doing things the same way. They say, if the formula is not broken, why change it? The formula is broken, we need to change it.
And on that note, I'll say one thing. We're all playing with fire. Yeah. And the protest that will happen will be one that is unplanned. Nobody is prepared for.
Yes.
And it will carry all of us. Continue to do what you're doing, thinking that nothing will happen. The day it happens,
we'll all be surprised.
We are saying that we don't have natural disasters.
They said I'm supposed to be excited to tell you it's the weekend. I don't know. We'll see you Monday. I hope and I pray for everyone that we can make it through this weekend. That's all I can say.